अभी एकदम मन भर गया होगा ऐसे गाने सुन सुनकर. So today's session is all about building out. Just open my presentation and then we can start. Can someone just tell me like whether they are able to see the screen or not?
Yeah, it's visible.
Visible. Great. So hi guys, today is the last session of the Hushel's cold shower series. Like I mentioned yesterday, cold shower series was all about jumping into that cold shower, taking that first step towards taking big decisions, like starting to learn web development or starting to pursue entrepreneurship, think about your idea. So on day one, it was all about how you can learn various web technologies, how can you build out your own ideas and be creative with them. Then we had Rohan Khameshra, who is sort of a data scientist, came and told us about the applications of an ML, AI, and how you can build a startup in that space. The session three, which was yesterday, it was all about how the road to entrepreneurship. So now that you have learned web development, how you can sort of translate your skills into creating a tech product. And we discussed how Mark Zuckerberg, Vitalik Buterin, Travis Kalanick, the founder of Uber, how they started out and built their own products. Then the fourth session was with Aditya Narayanan, who is a Harvard graduate and CEO of Hushel, and he told us about the importance of communication skills and how it is very important to have different kinds of experiences in life, and then translating all those experiences in building a product. Today's fifth session, and it is about building it out. So now that you have learned the basics of a tech product, how it is built and everything, now let's dive into building it out. So the first step to building any product is the identification of problem. I mean, what most people do wrong is that they think of the solution first. They think that, oh, wow, I have this wonderful idea. We can create this machine where you just need to, maybe just put in like wheat and then you get a bread on the other side. I mean, it's good, okay, but like, is that product really important right now? Are you solving a big problem? Where you will get the wheat from? Who will you sell the bread to? I mean, first you have to identify a real problem. You can't think in terms of an idea. You have to identify a problem that you either see in the society or it could be within a business. So there are two ways you can go about with the identification of the problem. Either you can target a problem that you see with the way things are done in society and innovate existing solutions, or you can find a way with your experience to serve other businesses within an industry. So like the way the things were done in the society when back in 2000s and 2010, when you used to just hold out your hand to stop a cab or something. Now it is much easier. Like that process used to take 15 to 20 minutes and there was no standardization of rates. Now we have Uber, Ola, and you can just book a cab. This is something that people saw in the society and they thought they can improve it, and they did improve it. At the same time, there are like B2B businesses, the most popular nowadays is Udan, where a retailer can directly order, the products he needs to sell from a different business, and that increases business discovery of a particular manufacturer, as well as the retailers get the products faster. So it's all about identification of a problem, then existing solutions. Now, once you have identified the problem, you can your mind would be buzzing with a lot of ideas. I can do this, I can do that. Um, so perhaps you have found out this problem that maybe it's very hard to connect with new people when you shift to a new city or when you join a new college. It's really hard to make new friends. So I will create an app where people will just put in their interests and I will just connect with each and every one of them. It's fine, it's a good solution, but there are existing solutions. uh, there are existing solutions, like if like you can always there was this product called Sonar. So what Sonar did was like everyone who was within 100 meter of your radius, it showed those people and their interests, and you can just go and connect with them. So there are many such apps that already exist. The thing that you need to study about them is you have to do market research. So now that you have identified the problem, the next step is to research the existing solutions or why they are not able to solve the problem efficiently. Like Sonar, everyone you can see like around 100 meters around you, you can easily go and make friends in a college, like especially if you're living in a hostel. But that didn't work. So you need to figure out why such solutions don't work. Maybe there are some government licensing issues or people are less educated about it. Who knows? Do your thorough research. After you have done the research, studied the competitors, identified the problem, then comes the ideation. Now, find out the plausible solution to the problem. I use the word plausible here because it is not possible until unless you don't build it out and test it out in the market. It will always remain plausible that maybe it is the solution. What is that one process that you can improve such that it can lead to chain reaction and solve not just one problem but the associated problems as well? So Google created search engine, right? It's a very simple product. I mean, if you look at one way, I mean, they just rank all these pages out that are available on the internet. You just search for a particular thing, and the Google search renders you with some result. Now Google, this started a chain reaction. Google realized that okay, people are coming more over Google search. It makes sense to create Gmail also. Then they started with Drive, then they started with Maps. Now they have created entire G Suite. They even started creating hardwares. So it started a chain reaction. So your solution should be so like it should allow so much flexibility that you can venture out in different directions. So yes, think of a solution that is very robust and you can always pivot. Then comes customer development. So problem, market research, you have your solution. Great. But the solution is great in your head. Does the customer actually want it? I mean, you don't know. So talk to customers because you're building for them. I mean, if Sonar guys would have talked to customers, maybe their product wouldn't have failed. So it's essential to talk to customers at every step of building out your solution. In fact, talking to customers should never stop even when you have built out your first product. Like even Zomato today, like they have amazing customer relationship system. Why? Because they constantly need to track through data, like how many customers are liking their product, what kind of food do they like. Suppose if they like biryani more, then probably they should offer like 40% discount more often on chicken biryani. So you need continued interaction with them so that you always stay ahead of your competitors as well. So that is customer development, to talk to your customers as much as possible. As engineers, sometimes it's very hard to talk to customers because in 11th 12th or most of the time had gone to studies and everything. But it's really important to develop some sort of soft skills, and you just have to just like a cold shower, you just have to dive once, just start talking to customers. Pehli bar it will it will seem tough. Second time it would be easier, third time it would be easier, and after a point of time you would be doing customer development with everyone. Now you have talked to customers. Customers said yes, your product is brilliant, your idea is brilliant, go and build it, we need it. So what do? You make a B plan. B plan is nothing but business plan. I'm not sure if someone has seen this diagram before. Has anyone seen this diagram before by any chance? Praveen, Sahit, anyone have they seen this diagram before?
Yes, we have seen. I have seen.
Okay. Yeah, so this is a business model canvas. There's also a lean business model canvas, which also includes two more things like unfair advantage and competitor analysis. But this is the classic business model canvas. So you sort of write the value proposition in the center, like what value do you deliver to the customer and everything, like what your idea is about. You just explain it in a few words. Then the key activities, what kind of activities will you do? So for instance, you are creating this platform to connect with friends in your college or the people nearby. So it will be like I would be connecting people nearby me through an app. What are the key resources you will require? So this includes like what kind of team you want, what kind of software would you want, hardware would you want, what kind of subscriptions to services, etc. Key partners is something like I'm going to partner out with the local restaurants, which will help me connect with the people around me. So those can be the key partners. Like for Uber, the key partner is obviously taxi drivers. Customer relationships. Now customer relationships is something that how would you maintain a customer relationship after they have used your product. So would you be sending them notifications, would you be sending them offers? How do you maintain a customer relationship? Then there are channels, like how would you advertise your product? Would it be through social media, like what SEO would you do? On what sites would you do it? Whether would you be creating YouTube videos, or whether you would you be hosting podcasts? Then there is customer segments, like what kind of customers are you targeting? Are they people who are like 50 to 60 years old? Because then you won't find them on internet. Are they 20 to 30 years old? Probably then you will find them on internet. Then cost structure. um, Cost structure is again like how much will you charge the customers for your product? If you are not charging your customers, what is the affiliate source of revenue? So you need to figure out all these sources of revenue. And revenue stream, again, like revenue stream and cost structure. Like cost structure is the cost of a product, and revenue stream is how you are generating revenue. So you need to figure out these stuff before this stuff before actually starting out a business. So once I will guide you through this small project that we did back in college. So I had a subject called B plan development, as well as it still helps me now. I mean, when I'm building out a true business, it still actually plays a lot of role in helping me ideate faster. So this was something that three of the classmates, we made this project. We had this fictional company called Amrutvanam Organics. Amrutvanam Organics is all about selling organic vegetables um, to these restaurants and people living in societies through organic farmers growing organic crops. So imagine there's a city like Bangalore, and all the farmers who are growing organic crops just on the outside of the city can deliver their crops to people living in the city. So this was our proposed solution. We actually started out with a problem. I think I have skipped a slide there. I didn't add the slide there. So first we thought of a problem, then we studied the existing solutions, and then we zoned on the proposed solution. So our proposed solution was we strive to achieve this by creating a common platform for all the independent farmers producing organic products to reach the market by establishing a brand. Organic agriculture has the potential to find ways promote a friendship-based competition in which farmers can work in an atmosphere of genuine love. So we were creating this community of farmers so that they work together instead of relying on a middleman, and they also get more profits, and people also get organic vegetables. Very utopian solution, but anyways, this was like fictional company, so we went ahead with it. So the value proposition then becomes like environment friendly products, organic products production, cordial environment for farmers since we are building their community, sustainable products, customization, and we were building a brand. So brand. Then key activities were like supply chain. So once the farmer like grows the vegetable, how do you deliver it to people? So there was problem solving, there were logistics involved. Then there were like key resources. So what are your key resources? You require farmers, you require financial resources, you require employees, of course. And then there was something of about the key partners. Key partners would be landlords, people who are owning the farming land, transportation, F&B industry, because one of the partner would be restaurants and hotels, and housing societies, because we will be going and delivering there. How do we maintain customer relationships? Of course, reviews, co-creation, and communities. And then there were channels like, how do you reach out to customers? You do sales, you go to stores, you do create a web application. That's how you reach to various customers. And the customer segments are high disposable income, because see, when you are making organic vegetables, the produce is low, the yield is low, so it needs to be sold at a higher price. And people who have high disposable income, they sort of can buy these vegetables. And of course, then there is health conscious people, then there are farmer communities, niche market, F&B industry. And the cost structure is like fixed, variable, and value based. That means like, the prices of vegetables and fruits keep on changing, so that is like fixed. Some things are fixed or some things are variable. And again, revenue stream is through advertising, sales, subscription, and application downloads of application. Again, I will be sharing this slide because this is more theoretical, but bear with me, because these are the things that, when you go through the slide again, you will just keep remember them when you are building out your own product. And again, not all of them are used everywhere, but in this particular idea, it was used. This is 5 forces analysis. You sort of make a list of 5 things that, affect your business the most. For us, it is like suppliers, that is the farmers, then buyers, the people who will buying it. Then there is a rivalry between sellers. There are substitutes like, inorganic vegetables, non-organic vegetables. And then new entrants in the market, like, maybe Reliance is starting out or some other brand is starting out for organic vegetables. But for us, the main problem was to solve this rivalry between sellers. So the farmers and all these have a problem, that they have these fights about land and, what kind of produce to create, control of rates and everything. So we wanted to create a farmer community that grows organic vegetables. That was our main challenge. Then there is SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis can be used anywhere, even when you are preparing for exams, preparing for a trip. It can be used anywhere. It's a general tool, and it can also be applied very well in start, like when you're building out a startup. SWOT is basically strength, weakness, opportunities, threats. So again, you can do a SWOT analysis. Then there is pest analysis. Pest analysis is again similar to SWOT analysis, but it is like political, economical, social, and technology. So for us, like political could be like government subsidies to farmers, policies to spread awareness for health and nutrition. These are the things that can affect our business. Economical things could be like high willingness to pay. It's a good sign for us. Low cost to provide a service, again, which is a good sign for us. And high level of unemployment exists in the village communities, which we can tackle with our own idea. So these were the things, like again, for technology, mobile application, and rapidly growing agriculture trade. So all of these things are things which can help your business in a positive direction. Then comes operational strategy. Now, you still don't start building out the business, because when you go to investors, uh, they will have these questions like, okay, your idea is good, your product is good, okay, you have figured out the market, you have figured out the cost structure and revenue and everything, really great. But every investor needs a story that is like, far ahead. What's your plan for like the next 3-4 years? That's the sort of commitment they ask from the founders or the entrepreneurs or the founding team, whatever. And that is why operational strategy is really important, to have an operational strategy at place, and it could be in phases. So we had, for this idea, imaginary idea, phase 1 was like gathering livestock, setting up your own agricultural production, building mobile and web application. Then, we were sort of thinking of creating these mobile vans which will go to like various housing societies, and they will just sell the vegetables there. And then there were like raw material supply to hotels and restaurants, and building strong customer relations. Then the phase 2 was like approaching independent farmers, convincing farmers to sell on our platform directly, instead of, we go and collect vegetables from them. They can just, book up pre-order, and it could be like direct farm to table thing. Like, you want 2 kg tomatoes, you order them today and they get delivered freshly plucked from the farm to your house the very next day. Gathering all the goods from farmers, approaching societies and gated communities. So we had like all these phases and everything, operational strategy. And then you also need to think of marketing timeline. We would also be having a marketing, a talk on marketing at 7 p.m. Do join in on that. So marketing is like, you know, after 2000s, after like, in fact, after 1960s, 70s, especially after, mass media grew a lot, marketing has played a huge role in our lives in sort of buying each and every product that you look around you. Most of them, like, if not each and every, most of them have been brought just because you saw an ad or some advertisement, or your friend recommended it to you, and your friend was recommended through an ad. So I mean, everything is through marketing these days. And launching the product through restaurants and hotels was our thing. And then mobile vans selling at houses, flyer distribution, intensive online marketing or social networks. And like, you sort of have to figure out everything when you are building a startup: the tech, the idea, the team, the startup, the marketing, everything. So it's a like multifaceted, like you feel, you find these various challenges as you go ahead. So yeah, iterate. Now iterate is the biggest thing. So there's this something called a strategy called lean startup strategy. So you start with a goal. You start with a goal to solve a particular problem, and then you create an idea. Now when you ideate, you sort of create B plan, operational strategy, and everything. And then you start to create. When you create, that means you're creating an app. If it's an app based product, setting up a store. If it's like a physical product, like physical store product or something. And then you execute is when you start marketing and selling. You start to bring all your plans, operational plans, marketing plans to reality. And then you analyze. After you start selling to people, you sort of analyze. You have now got the data: what worked for you, what didn't work for you, what should have been better, what did we do right, what should we repeat. Like, you just analyze the data and you learn. And then again you iterate. Maybe the last time when you started distributing flyers, it was really expensive and less people converted through it. But you know what? More people converted through a radio ad. Surprisingly, you didn't even think that so many people will convert through radio ad. So you start investing more on radio ad. You go to other radio channels. So this is the sort of thing which lean startup ideology is. You always keep on iterating and making your idea better and better and better. Now, some other things that are really important. These are the finer things, and these are equally important as having a good plan. That is team building. A major reason why most startups fail is that they don't have a good team dynamics, or the leadership is poor. In fact, if you would search on Google, like, why the reason why most startups fail, I think it's the topmost reason or the second biggest reason that most startups fail, because the team is inefficient. And when I say inefficient, it doesn't mean that they don't have the talent or they don't have the skill set to build a good product. It's just that people just don't have that good working culture, or the dynamics between people are not good. So that is one of the biggest reason. Then comes business online. Of course, everything is online these days. If you're not online, you're nowhere. Even for the physical kirana shop these days, I mean, it's essential to have your presence on, like, online. Because like, for me, for instance, like, if I need to search for, like, say a product, like I want watercolors. This is the problem I faced a few days ago. Don't ask why, but I sometimes paint. So I was searching for watercolors, and I just wanted to buy a physical product somewhere close by, because I just wanted those watercolors in like 1 hour or something. Now, there were these 2 3 stationery shops near me, but only one was showing it. Like, I got to know that there were 2 3 stationery shops, but I went to the one that showed online. So even for like physical stores, it's like very important to build your presence online. So like again, hire a good tech team, build your business presence online as quickly as possible, find the right marketing channels and reach out to your target group as effectively as possible. And creating a bigger online platform, be ambitious always, think ahead, think of scaling up your business by scaling the tech and communities. So leave it out to your team. If you are like, if you're a founder and you have a team of like say 50 plus or 100 plus, just plan it out well in advance, because good planning is the key to success. Leave it to your team, you think ahead, think of scaling ahead, hiring a better team, hiring a better tech team, plan ahead. So while your team is executing the current thing, have a clear picture in mind of what lies ahead, so that you never run out of ideas. So you always have a plan B if a plan A fails. And that actually brings us to the end of this session. This was a very short session and very theoretical one. It was less interactive because I actually had to give you this lowdown of information first, so that we can have, I expect a lot of questions from you, because a lot of you are actually interested in building something and would be happy to take up any questions right now. Feel free to type in or unmute yourself and ask questions. Okay.
I have a question, like how to approach people for customer, like market research.
Yeah, so suppose, so Sahit, first of all, since this is a very interactive session, so I would want to know, is there an idea that you think right now that you have in mind?
Like I'll be having like so many of ideas daily thinking about, uh, but I have thought about one idea about like realtors and everything, helping real estate agents and
Okay.
customers, because I went through like some people
Yeah.
who are facing issues. Like I have one of my neighbor who has issues like legal issues with the realtors and real estate, everything.
Okay.
Through my application, I want to provide the legal support to them. And also, the second problem I have seen is like many realtors will face problems to manage their properties list. And every time they need to go to each and every property and they need to show it, they will be spending like a lot of time, petrol,
Ah,
and everything.
get it. Yeah.
And managing petrol, like properties list. And we need to provide them audience as well. I thought of a business model like we'll provide a freemium model for
Yeah.
realtors, and for legal advisors who are present over there, we'll charge like 1% or 2%, like freelancing
So this,
startups.
this product is for people who own the real estate. Am I right?
Yes, like real estate agents or realtors, and
Yeah.
people who are interested in buying some lands and property.
So your basically your customer research, if you would do, it would be just limited to, because I believe that there wouldn't be much realtors in India. I mean, there would be like one, it's a big market again, but like 100,000, 200,000 would be, I think, my estimate for it. Uh, One thing is that, you would have to do a market research first. Like you would have to ask a few people, like, what is the best way to approach, like how do you approach to customers? So one thing about customer development is you never ever tell your idea first. First, you sort of, try to strike a conversation with them, very simple conversations with them. Like, when was the last time you faced a problem in, like, say, showing a property to someone or selling a property to someone, and they would say something. Then you anchor on what they say. Suppose they say like, like I tried, like 6 7 people came and all of them had the same questions about, the paint is not good, or this is not good, that is not good, facilities is not good. So then you can anchor on that, and then you can ask the next question. So what did you do about it? And you keep on asking questions, and you will realize that, the people come up with new kinds of problems. And like when you have a large amount of data, it's the same thing. When you say interview 100 real estate agents, and it will take time, it will take 1 good month. But I assure you, like if your questions are damn right, after those 100 interviews now, you will clearly see a pattern, ki what is the problem. If the problem is exact same what you started out with in mind, then it's great. I mean, you already have the solution. But if you come across something new, say out of 100 people that you interview, 60 people turn out to have the same problem. And this 60 people, that means 60% people, at least like 50 to 60% people in this country would be having the same problem. That's a market in itself. So that is why customer conversations are necessary, and as many of them as possible and as detailed as possible. Speak for half an hour, take their time. Don't let your idea come out first. Don't never tell them your solution first. Just say that I'm working on a project or some idea and I would want to know what problems you face. Just the conversation should be about them. What most people do when they do customer development is the biggest, and write this down, like biggest problem that, biggest pitfall they fall into is key, they speak more. The person telling the idea speaks more. Now if I tell you, Sahid, that I will create this app which will for like $100 you can get access to any of the movies like Netflix, Amazon, you would say yeah, it's great. But do you really want that product? Perhaps no. I would have to do a customer conversation with you. Like, Sahid, do you have any problem while watching some movie or accessing some movie? Is it very hard for you to access them? So it should be more about you. Then Sahid will say something like, okay, I find them like they are very expensive. I need a solution, something like that. When the person asks for the solution themselves, then you tell the solution to them. So that is the best way to do customer
Like
dev.
you have given one example, right?
Yeah.
You can chat with the people who are near to 100 meters when you are new to that place.
Yeah.
Uh, for example, like if I speak to someone and I say like, do you face any issues like when you go to other cities and everything? I think they will say yes, but you said that the startup failed.
Yeah, because that was a different reason. The sonar failed because they didn't actually market at the right place. Also, the sonar, as in the app, had like technical problems with them because they started out with infrared. Read about it; it's an interesting story. They started out with infrared, then they also required people to have their Bluetooths on all the time or the internet. It was also using their location all the time, so it actually drained people's battery and people actually uninstall the app. So it's a very different problem that they faced. But it was a good app. It was quite popular in US, never quite picked up in India. But yeah, some problems are very real. Everyone faces it. But then you have to be smart about it. Then you would have to come with a solution. You would have to ask them like, what exactly do when they shift to a new city, what is the exact problem they face? Like, is it meeting people to party? Is it meeting people to play like badminton or squash or whatever games? Or is it like just they want people to chill out? Like, what is the exact problem? What do they need the people for? Again, you talk to 100 people, maybe 40 people say that they want people to play sports with, or 30% people will say that we need people to play musical instruments with. Just an example. So then you build out for them what you see the bigger problem. There's this amazing book. I will type its name here. The Mom Test. It's a very small book, and I mean it's like really amazing. मतलब इसमें पूरा बताया हुआ है कि how do you approach customer conversations, how do you start customer development, and everything that I'm telling right now is coming from this book. So I would highly recommend this book, The Mom Test. Do read it. I mean, it's a very short book. Even if you are not into reading much, you can read it. Okay. Krutharth has asked me this question on direct message. Bro, where did you got these clip arts, as they were very essential for presentation? Uh, so there's this again a service. So there's a problem and there's always a service. So this service is Canva. If you're not aware of Canva, then Canva is like this tool where you can find like millions of templates, literally millions of templates, and you can edit them with their editing tool. So yeah, so you do have Canva. So yeah, Canva is basically, this is the premium version, so you get access to like everything here. It's amazing like what kind of templates people make. So this is also a very interestingly a unicorn. This is I think 5-6 billion worth like worth dollar like $6 billion worth company or something. And yeah, I mean, find solution to any kind of problem, like any kind of problem. No man, I have no idea if we get premium by student discount or not. Anyone, any guy, any person wants to share about their idea, like any kind of idea, like. And one thing, discussing your ideas doesn't mean that people can steal them away. Never think this way, because until and unless you don't discuss your ideas, you will never get off ground. So if anyone like is willing to discuss their idea, speak about their dream idea, they can also come up. Yeah, Praveen, I saw you unmute yourself.
Yeah, maybe that was accidental.
I thought you would be having some idea already.
Yeah, I have a lot of ideas, but I don't know how to present them right now.
Okay, okay.
Like it's a more like a very beginning stage, so it's not. There's nothing more about in my mind to say about it. So I will be ideating. I will be taking my time to think about it more. If I am having any idea, I would definitely present.
Yeah, definitely, man. Like the more you discuss the ideas, the more ideas you get because the other person will also have something, and
Yeah,
you
he
can
can
ask,
also
yeah, you
modify,
can,
either modify or can give us a feedback about how it's going, so we can
yeah,
have a more clearer picture.
exactly. But at the same time, do keep this in mind. If you're telling some idea to someone and they say something, don't be like demotivated, because I trust you, and especially friends are the worst people to ask discuss your ideas, because they would always be like मतलब बहुत कम friends होते हैं who would be like actually
Yeah,
willing to discuss the ideas, but
willing to discuss and willing to understand what's our ideas.
most of the friends are like, "Yeah, it won't work because they don't relate with the problem." And
Problem.
in fact, if these companies like Zepto and uh, Blinkit, they are now focusing on 10-minute deliveries, and in Bangalore it's like really fast. So I came to Bangalore
Yeah.
3 months ago for the first time, and I can really appreciate these services. Like I one day what happened is that I was going for a bath. I just ordered like a bread and something, and I just went in for the bath. I came outside, मतलब नहाकर बस आया हूँ, like just, and वो बंदा आ गया delivery लेके, and it's so fast. Now this thing, if you would have asked me earlier, like if there is a service that gives you 10 minutes may delivery instead of half an hour, I would say it doesn't make any difference in my life. I don't want it. But at the same time, now it's changing the habit. I need things in 10 minutes.
Yeah, we will be tending towards lot of automation fastness.
Yeah.
The millennials, the problem with the millennials is that only.
So Krutarth has also shared this idea. I do develop a app that is named as 1 minute engineering, where these contain a piece of information about 1 minute of all fields about engineering. These contain all information sorted in branch wise with questions that he or she learned. That is a very interesting app, yeah. That is a very different. So have you developed it, Krutarth? You can unmute yourself so that it would be easier to have a conversation. Okay, you are developing it.
Yeah, we are in UI UX phase.
Yeah. So okay, you're developing it. That's
Yeah,
great. That's a cool app to build. So do you think that it would run more if you build it on YouTube? Like if you just post the videos on YouTube initially?
yeah, but I do survey for about 50 to 60 peoples. They
Okay,
say they want that because there are less services for education about engineering fields, right? So I do keep in that.
great. I mean, yeah, of course, having your own app enables you to have your own data, play around with your own data, as well as, you know, monetize more. So yeah, that is good. That is a really interesting idea. Wait, don't worry, I'm not stealing it. So any technology that you are looking at right now? It's just Flutter, React. Can can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. So the question was, are you looking at any technology stack right now, like, or have you already started building?
No, I actually started building about 2 weeks from now. But the problem is I can't load it into Firebase, the information, whether he logged in or not, because Firebase gives only little access, so I can't. And
Yes.
I don't know how to load the data set into my own server, like Raspberry Pi and all. I do
Okay,
want to learn.
got it. But why do you want it on Raspberry Pi? It's like some hardware-based solution.
Yeah, it's hardware based. You can get that hardware piece of hardware for about 2,000 rupees.
Okay,
It contained its own CPU and all that kind of stuff, and they are providing you free OS, so I can manage that hardware issues.
okay.
But in our college, they have put some firewall, so the bandwidth is low. So I will think about that also.
That's interesting, man. That's and you're building this out in Bangalore itself.
Yeah, in Bangalore itself, in my college room, hostel room.
Oh, great. That's a really interesting thing that you're doing. Good luck with that.
But for iOS development, they are charging about $100, like literally 7,000 rupees for 1 year for developer tools. So I don't know what to do. I
Developer tools for Raspberry Pi.
no. For iOS, I do both on
iOS.
Android and iOS.
So you're not
If
doing it on Flutter.
no. I don't do cross-platform. I do majorly on Java and Swift. But for iOS development, if I uh, do my app also, if I want to publish that,
Yeah,
they do require you about $100, which is nearly equal to 7,000 rupees.
yeah.
So I have to think about that also. And for a student, I don't get that huge amount.
I get it. I get it. I understand. I mean, one thing is, I mean, one thing that is really hard when you are starting out as a student is that, you know, you don't really have the funds to buy premium tools. And that really like slows down your progress. That really happens. And I think there are two ways to think about it. One is like either you can be jugadu, like for in your case, instead of doing it in Java or Swift, you can opt for Flutter and find ways to, you know, integrate like Flutter. Like Flutter and Firebase are like amazing together. And yeah, you can then somehow connect to external APIs and then connect to Raspberry Pi and build connect to that hardware. That is one way that you can do it, and it is Flutter is free, of course.
Yeah, Flutter is free, but if I do that app in Flutter also, and I
Yeah,
want to publish that, I have to pay 7,000 rupees for Apple.
yeah. To the Apple, you would have to pay. I mean, that is like, but then you also need to like think that, you know, if you want to really build out the app and publish it, instead, probably if I was in your place, I would test it out on the APK version and uh, check it out with the Android users. Make your friends download that APK file. Put that APK file on, like, you know, student servers like Discord or Reddit or some places like these, and then, you know, take in their reviews. If people are actually liking it and people would be willing to pay for it, then you have no, like, don't think twice. Pay those 7,000 and publish it on like iOS. But what I also believe that Indian users who are in engineering who are engineering students, most of them are like Android users.
Yeah.
You have to think about that, whether like 7,000 is worth it or not.
And I do have Microsoft Azure account, and they are giving me free SQL databases, but I don't know how to manage that and all.
Yeah, I get it. Like, so SQL is like very fairly easy to learn, like especially connecting with Java and
Yeah, but SQL can't be done for an app because application do require JSON files, which I want to.
so have you considered MongoDB?
No. I'm
You-
still in learning progress.
I get it. I get it. I mean, if I do get it, JSON format and everything, even I have faced this problem. I am typing the name of the database, MongoDB. You can just look into it. Like it's very easy to connect with any of the service like tools like Java, languages, Java or Flutter or React or anything. So you can go through that.
And I don't have the permission for AdSense, so I don't know how to generate the revenue.
I mean, I mean, you would at some point you would need to find an investor, or you would have to put in money, because if you are building a business, you need to put in some amount of money. You need to take that risk, and I mean that would be the biggest lesson for you. Like even if you fail, that is a big lesson. I mean, money can again come back. Like you can again earn it and everything. But that lesson,
I can't spoil the user experience by just adding interstitial ad like that banner ones for about 30 seconds. And I don't seem like they are paying about 30 rupees or 20 rupees for subscriptions for these apps. I don't know how to generate the revenue out of it.
yeah, that is why I was saying about like telling about YouTube, because YouTube but then your product is also hardware based. I mean, it depends. Like you would have to think about it. I mean, whether, I mean, it's again that question really comes in. Either you need to make it subscription based, or whether users have to pay. Either you make it so good like Spotify is. So what Spotify did is like, we will let you listen to songs half an hour for free, but then we will make you listen to this ad for 2 minutes where they will be selling some product. And you, if you buy premium for 99 rupees a month, then we will make those ads vanish. I mean, that is one way, and people can't really, do away with uh, Spotify now, because Spotify is like a habit. So initially you might have to give your product out for free if you don't want ads, but eventually you would have to find either subscription or ads or both.
Yeah, for publishing for Android also we need to pay about 2,000 rupees.
Yeah, you need to pay.
Yeah, and
Yeah, can I give a suggestion for generating the revenue?
yeah,
Possible?
absolutely.
Yeah, like if you have developed it, like a one go, it's complete. If the product is finished, then you can launch it in your friends and community. So you would be in a college right now, in the college. So you would be having a community. You ask them to download it and to use it, and you can given a condition. You can put a condition on the app that if you are willing to, you have to pay either some minimum amount subscription fee, or you can share it to your friends. If you have shared referred to 10 friends and they have joined, you will be getting this one for free, and you will be having an exponential increase in your customer.
Yeah,
Once if the customer base is increased and they are liking your product, you can then set the subscription fee as much you want
I
based
mean,
on the services.
Krutarth, if you get like 1,000 users to use your product and they are using it consistently, you can easily approach any investor and show them your product. Boss, I have built this thing and people really like it. I need some funding to scale it up. Like if I have money and even if you get like 1,000 users, I would be like really interested to fund it, personally speaking. But then I'm not a VC. It would be really good if you approach some VC or some investor, and there are people you can put your ideas on Product Hunt. I mean, have you heard of Product Hunt?
no.
So do visit Product Hunt. mentioning the name Product Hunt. It's just Product Hunt. You can just right now open it on the tab and see, just save, bookmark it or whatever. Whenever you build out an idea, post it on Product Hunt. Once it is like completely ready the product, there angel investors can actually pick on your product. People like and follow each other's product, and there are angel investors. If they really like your product, they are ready to fund you. I mean,
Is it like Shark Tank and all?
it's not Shark Tank. No. Like it's something like so you have uploaded your APK file there, or the screenshots, or a like screen recording of your app, and you have also showed the numbers and everything, statistics. Now people come, they see the screenshots, the screen recording, and if they want to download your app through APK or App Store or Play Store, they download it and then they use it. Based on that, they just review. So you can also review other people's apps, and other people also review your apps, and it's a very popular platform. There are angel investors, there are VCs who like contact you separately, either through mail or messenger or whatever, and then the talks then go ahead. So it's not like Shark Tank. It's just like, you have uploaded your product somewhere on the internet and people look at it, and you have some chances to approach the like investors to approach you. Investors approach you in this case, not you are approaching the investors. And then there is another platform called AngelList. If you haven't heard of it, AngelList is more popular in the US, but even Indians founders use it. On AngelList, it's the other way around. There are like various investors. You approach them, you message them, and then they revert back to you if they're interested in your product. So, but I would highly recommend, as Praveen mentioned, make your friends download it, get people in your college download it, run a small ad or campaign on local Facebook or something, so that more people download it and use it. And if you get good reviews, just publish on any of these platforms, AngelList or Product Hunt.
Yeah, thanks.
Great, yeah, nice to hear. Yeah, people building something in college itself. And on that note, I would end this session. But the next session, I think